So, Aurora, you did one whole Furality as a DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, as a DJ. It's
What was
yeah.
that experience like?
It's very surreal because I still remember going to Furality Luma, which was my first Furality event that had happened, and I remember seeing all my friends up on stage, and I was like, "Damn, I want to do that." But then I was like never able to because like work and life. I started having more and more time, and I went to Schlick's set at FC last year. FC, ooh, I want to say 2024. It's 2025 still, right?
Right.
But I went to his set, and I had so much inspiration that I bought a deck like right after, and it's like I'm doing this now. I need to learn, and just then being able to be accepted and having been on the staff team for like 4 Furality events, like 2 as a director, and then just being able to like share the stage with so many friends, it was a very circular moment, if you will. Like you could see where you started, how you contributed to it, and then how you came back to it. Like I remember working on getting like DJ posters for like Furality Silva for the first time, and then like that, then working on it for Umbra, but then being on it like for this last one, like I have it hanging in the office, which is, you know, gnarly.
Putting up with me on the video production team.
You had your moments.
Schlick's really good beans. He really has things down for techno. And you said you ran and you got a deck. What did you pick up?
So I spoke with Valent, who I knew because of Furality Legends. I met him because he was a cam op, doing his 50 to 60 hours that weekend.
Throwing it back, filming his feet.
Yep.
Shout out to
I have
Valent.
that photo. But yeah, he had recommended me because I wanted to get a deck that was pretty intro friendly. So I got the FLX4 to start off with, just so I can kind of learn like the core concepts of DJing and
Nice.
lovely record box and all its crashing glory.
I personally do not like record box. I don't want to pay monthly for the feature to search through my library,
Or to record. I found that one out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's rough. Yeah, I think the FLX4, I believe that was part of the like they used to have one called the SB, which was a little like travel deck, and I think they merged that into the FLX series.
It's honestly a great series. I've stuck with it when I started feeling my limits with the FLX4, and I wanted to get something that was, a step up, but wasn't over $2,000 to $3,000. So
You don't
I
want the
went for
$15,000 CDJs and a mixer,
I'll
3,000s and an
buy.
A9.
Yeah, no, I will not do that. But after that, I went down by the border over here and I bought an FLX10. So
Oh dang.
yeah,
Is that what you use for your Froudy set? Is the FLX10?
I was using the 10 at that point. But my Froudy submission that I had done with Kale, that was on the 4.
That was the demo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean like no skin off smaller decks. Like it's not the size of the deck, it's how you spin it.
Exactly. It's like the tools may change, but like at the end of the day, it's like the artist behind the tools that makes the art, I think is the best way I
Right?
could put it.
Speaking of the tools that makes the art, how was your experience working with AV, doing your hologram and everything else that has to go together for Audi show?
Yeah, unfortunately, the hologram recording didn't show up the first time, and I felt really bad for AV because I know how hard they work on that, and how much effort they put in, especially leading up to it. So I'm like, no, it's chill, you're fine, don't worry. That's why when Kale and we saw that like our hologram wasn't there, and I'm like, all right, Kale, get up here. We're gonna go up on the stage because it's like I was a part of the VR club scene like starting 2020. We didn't have holograms. You just stood
Nope.
up there. And it kind of like we all just stood up there, started doing our thing, but that was pretty special. And then, in the middle part of the section, there's a track that Kale has. It's like called La Boheme. It's a French track, but we wanted to kind of represent like our communities. So we're both from SoCal. I'm from San Diego. So you saw a lot of footage on the visuals of San Diego there as well as Kills. I stopped and I just looked at the visuals, and it's nice to represent where you come from. And I come from San Diego, so seeing where I legit those courts, that the volleyball courts, I play volleyball there. Like those beaches, I'm there every weekend, like playing
Oh,
volleyball,
nice.
going about, and pretty special. My favorite interaction of that was on Blue Sky. Someone said, "I saw my house in your visuals."
Oh. Full Streisand effect.
God.
That's really, really cool. And technical difficulties is just part of DJing. There's
yeah.
never a perfect set. Something always goes wrong.
LVFC, or going back to the record box statement, during LVFC, which was my debut set at a convention, record box crashed.
Yep.
So it's just, you put your hands up and it's like, well, can I swear? Because I was gonna say, shit happens, and you just gotta roll with the punches. Really have fun with it.
Right, like when I did my Aqua set for Furality Aqua, I was doing the hologram, and I stomped the crap out of my index headset cable that runs to the computer. So the entire Furality Aqua, I had white stars and dots like snow in my vision as the cable desperately tried to send video to me. You're a recent, up and coming DJ. You've done real life conventions recently. You've done, Furality. What's next for Aurora?
Oh boy, it's like after because Furality was kind of like an inspiration of what do I want to do with my branding. Like, for instance, I changed my branding completely. Like, when I was watching Caustic, I was like, wow, like this takes it like up like a whole notch. I got to get my shit together if I want to be more serious about it. But like I rebranded to Redacted, trying to go more into that edgy techno feel, but also at the same time keep my tunes similar to what I have down in SoCal. So I'm going into more Latin techno tracks. So try to find more
interesting
stuff from Latin America and Spain and the Caribbean. Like, it's so fun, these tracks that are just out there that no one's using. So I'm trying to represent my community quite a bit more. But
even
like,
dip into a little bit of jungle too.
Yes. I was gonna say with because I'm coming up here very soon at Megaplex. It's all going to be tracks that are made by Latin American producers as well as Brazilian producers. So it's like, I know Bino on AV is gonna love like half the tracks I'm playing, but yeah.
Bino's gonna be there?
No, they're not. But
I was about
in
to say,
spirit, the music. But what's next is I really want to get into music production. So I was talking a lot with Manic, who goes by Fish, who also performed at this most recent Furality. And
we'll be interviewing them later.
They've been trying to get the Strands bug on me, and sure enough, it's working. So I want to learn music production, and they offered to help teach. But the other piece is I also want to start breaking in more into the local DJing scene in SoCal. Maybe not in the furry fandom, but like the local club scene, to start trying to get more experience and kind of bring more techno out to SoCal, because it's very Latin house.
Yeah, keep your nose to the ground for open mic nights. I've bummed a lot of open mic nights in my career of DJing.
I need to do that. I'm trying to find a bunch of places out in Hillcrest, which in San Diego, that's kind of like our LGBTQA community. And they have a lot of like gay bars out there that need DJs. So
At the
who
gay
knows? I might
bar,
be.
gay bar, gay
You might have hard techno at a gay bar, so that might be interesting.
bar. Oh man, I mean, with the hard techno, yeah, Schlick definitely has like the hard Detroit techno lockdown. So that would be crazy to hear that genre of music played elsewhere.
They're an inspiration. I love Schlick. Like I can't shout him out enough. Like how crazy cool he is, and like how
Yeah,
much I love the homie.
that's another thing really, really cool too. Is I think in the VR furry community, especially the DJ community, is always like lifting everybody up. I've been around for a long time. I've experienced a lot of different DJing communities, and I've never experienced anything as welcoming and lovey-dovey, if you will, with the furry community. How is being a VR DJ? How was your experience being a VR DJ and being in like the Furality DJ pool compared to anything else you've done
Oh boy.
community-wise?
So I'm actually like a recent furry, like a COVID furry, as I've been colloquially called.
Lots of sourdough.
Yeah. Um, but how does it compare? Well, it's interesting because, I made a lot of my friendships um with furry DJs, like furry VR DJs, prior to even being a DJ. Like I always thought it was something I wanted to do, but it was like never attainable for someone's fire alarm's going off. Apologies.
I'm just that hot.
Oh yeah. It's tough because, I think in the short period I've done a lot with the furry fandom. I was one of the first members of the Vibe Night staff team, like back in its glory days and when it just
Way back,
started.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like 5 years ago. And then transitioned to Club Stream Team on Furality and helped, create like these massive productions that you see in the club. And then like get a random message at 3 a.m. when I was in Madrid saying, "Hey, you want to be a Furality director from like Aloe?" And, putting that on and, building a team, not only like a team, like a family in a department, that was huge. And then how does that compare? It's with the furry DJ scene in the pool of everyone, we're all like awkward, but we're all awkward together is the best way of putting it. And what I love about it is it's art. Like music is art, and in the essence of it is we're not gatekeeping it. We're sharing our passion. We're sharing our love of it, and like regardless of like experience, people want to jump in and be like, "Oh, look at this track. Oh, look at this track. I found this track and I thought of you and I thought you'd love it." Like it's just sharing art with your friends and all partaking in it and enjoying it. And then it's just like you all have like everyone has that moment when you're sharing like music with your friends where you're like, "Oh wait, listen to this drop, listen to this drop," and then you hear it and you're like, "Oh my god." So it's nice. I mean, it's an honor to be on that stage because, I have the perspective of seeing all the work that gets put behind the scenes to even make those stages, and then to have gone through the process like everyone else where you grind out hours by yourself, just alone, just doing music because you love it, and you just end up certain places.
How long did it take you and Kale to put your stuff together?
Ooh, how long did it take us? I want to say, so it was a bit easier because it was a back-to-back, so you split responsibilities, but also at the same time we had lots of calls where it's like, what vibe do we want to go for? How do we want to start? What do we want to go like BPM wise? How do we want to end? How do we
Yo,
not
what's your
kill the
key?
audience? Like, yo, share me them crates. um, but I want to say it took us about 2 months for a 30-minute set.
That's about right. Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot that I'd change now, but you know,
Always is.
yeah.
Nature of the art. You always hear it and be like, I should have done this transition there, should have done this here. It's just the nature of the thing.
Oh, for sure.
And back a little on community, we always kind of like to end these little segments with kind of like a broiling question that a lot of people have. If I were a new DJ and wanted to start DJing, what's some advice you got for me?
I got two major pieces of advice. The first one is there's a video that I remember helping y'all produce that was made for Silva. Um, I think it's a great intro into learning some of the basics because a lot of the times, if you learn the fundamentals of DJing, you unlock like 70% of the journey. So I forget the name of the video, but it was like the DJ submissions video for Furality
Mhm.
Silva.
It is, yeah. We
it goes over some
repurposed that
great
for
tips.
Somna.
Oh yeah, like that video has like great tips about phrasing, beat matching. Like I say, you watch that and you master those, that gets you pretty far in. But there's a
I
psychological
wrote that
side.
video.
I remember it took like 2 months for you to make it.
But I'm so first half is submission information. You can ignore the first half. When it gets to the second half of the video, that's all like the
Yeah.
fundamentals. Watch that second half.
I'm
Old
gonna
and new
roast Kale
DJs.
for a second on that because he had like really bad mic quality. I remember that where it was all like no audio or like super high audio. There was like no middle. But there, in all seriousness, there's one piece of advice that I want to give, like psychological wise, is and I think this is a good life lesson in general, is do it because you love doing it. Because if you do it for the attention, people can tell. And then also at the same time, what you're producing isn't coming from like the heart or yourself. It's coming from a place of, like ulterior motives, trying to get attention. And likewise, I know, like, for instance, rejection can be very tough in the DJ community because if it is something you're very passionate about and you want to share the love and share what you make with everyone, rejection can come harsh. You could see it as people don't like my music or it's bad. But in reality, it's if you focus on doing what you love to do because you love doing it and you just stick to that mentality, it helps unlock so many barriers. Because sure, I've been rejected a lot of times in my life, like even outside of DJing. But if you approach stuff with a positive attitude, it works out in the end. And you just have to kind of go with the waves, like the ebbs and flows, stick with the punches, and yeah, just never give up. Because if you love it, if you love something, don't look for others for validation. Find that validation in yourself of what you're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're faking it, we could hear you're faking it, right? If you're not doing it for the love of the music, if you're not doing it for the love of doing the work, we can hear that in the audio. It comes across that way. And like with rejection, it happens, and you just have to not take it personally. Like a lot of times you'll get rejected just because the club's vibe is going for something else and your music just doesn't fit the vibe, or they had like 500 submissions for house and they can only take 4.
Yeah.
So like, you just got to roll with it, keep submitting. Submit, 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 submit. you you fail 100% of the time, you don't try. So
Exactly. And I mean, even then, failure is only failure if you've learned nothing from it.
it's true.
Because when I went into the submitting for Furality this go around, I was like, well, I'm a new DJ. Probably don't stand a chance because I know there's a lot of talented DJs out there, but let me go at it. And in doing so, it kind of taught me a lot of like core concepts of DJing, track selection, like changing tempos. So even if the odds look stacked against you, push yourself to do your very best. And if you still fall short, you're way ahead of where you used to be.
Keep learning. Always keep learning.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we got socials. Where else can we find your delicious musics?
I'm the Purple Wicker across all social media platforms, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Mixcloud. So
Pure One
that's where-
Imports.
Pure One Imports, the Yahoo, Gmail. No,
The wicker
no,
basket.
don't email those. God. But yeah, so you can find my link tree on those.
Well, Aurora, it was a pleasure as always to talk with you. You're one of my favorite beans. I'm not biased, I swear. I think that's a wrap for the interview. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, Furality Somna peoples.